All throughout history, there have been lady spies who have single-handedly changed the world. They are famed for their wit, admired for their charm, and, of course, applauded for their natural skills in espionage. Each lady spy had her own special skill. Some were trained to be expert codebreakers. Some could interpret body language or signals that were meant to be secret. Some were masters of martial arts and could jump, dash, leap, and loop their way to safety. And some were masters of deception and could charm their way out of dangerous situations or into mysterious ones. This story is about them, but it is not only about them. It is also about 3 little girls named Peggy, Rita, and Dot. They, too, had their own special skills, and on a very rainy night, in a very rainy town, they found themselves in a very peculiar situation. In the little girls' clubhouse, things were a bit too quiet. The spy club met routinely in Rita's attic, but what was the point anymore? The clubhouse phone hadn't rung for weeks, and it was collecting dust. Usually, the girls' skills were put to use solving mysteries like stolen ballet slippers or cryptic notes left in sidewalk chalk. Tonight, however, the girls were just bored. All that was left to do was to sit around the clubhouse and play some sort of game to pass the time. On this evening, that was Go Fish, and Rita was taking a very long time on her next move. Rita, who was one for planning, calculating, and figuring out, was trying very hard to decide whom to request an ace from. Peggy, who was one for charm, chatting, and spunkiness, was practicing card tricks. Card tricks can be useful in sticky situations, or for pranks, or for occupying yourself when your friend is taking too long. Dot, who was one for acrobatics, crafts, and doing things with her hands, chose to occupy herself by building a giant card tower. It got taller, and taller, and taller, and taller. "Aha!" said Rita. Finally, a decision had been made. Whoosh! Went the card tower. "My tower!" cried Dot. The stacks of cards crumbled and tumbled, and the wind swept them up into the air and right out of the open window. The girls rushed after them and watched as the cards floated away into the storm outside. "Well," sighed Peggy, "there goes our fun." They were just about to turn away when something odd happened. Through the fog and the rain, they saw a woman under a yellow umbrella walking unusually fast down the street. They supposed that this was not out of the ordinary, but in the middle of the night, and in the middle of a storm? "How odd," said Rita. "How peculiar," said Dot. "And how absolutely unignorable," said Peggy. There was nothing to discuss. The girls swept into action. They had, after all, just lost their only entertainment, and perhaps it was time to find their own mystery.